Hello, hello. Happy Friday. We're changing it up this Friday a little bit.
Emergency.
Emergencies. Yeah, and just, I mean, all kidding aside, I mean, I'm so confounded, disheartened. It's hard to put words on how this is affecting me, but I feel like it's also, we're empathic. We're feeling it pretty much globally here. So,
yeah, for sure.
I was on earlier with Granny, Irish Granny Tarot.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted to kind of talk about this a little bit and some of the books she's been reading and how it really brought in how this story has been playing out for decades and how they have been pushing this agenda in, and it's happening now on our watch. So this is not something new. This is something that has been in the books, planned to kind of like a coup, so to speak. So and so that was very interesting to hear her take on what's happening now, but also her anger and rage about it. So what's happening in your neck of the woods with this?
Well, yesterday I just felt really, I mean, it's interesting because, I think that our outrage feeds the Republicans. They love that. So for the most part, I just feel sad when stuff like this happens. I think it's just so sad that there are people that are still just so selfish, so cruel. It just isn't, I feel bad for us all because of that. And, like you said, I think you feel that when you're an empath, and even if you're just empathic, or when you just have empathy for people, you feel the personal hurt of people, and then you feel the collective hurt. Then we've got all these natural disasters and stuff. And I was talking to Cassie about this, and I said, this stuff has been, we keep shoving stuff under the carpet. We'll have government corruption and we'll shove it underneath just move on, let's move on and pretend like it didn't happen. Racism, women's issues, global climate change. It's just like we just keep pushing it aside, and now the checks come due. It's time to deal with all of these things.
This is you guys, and I want the family here to know we have not talked about this today together, but literally, Kim, I just said the same thing when I was talking to Granny. I always want to call her Granny, Irish Granny. So about this carpet thing. Now, remember when the shift first started happening, the age of Aquarius and blah, blah. And I said, we are now entering a time that we can no longer shove things under the carpet.
Right.
And not only that, we're not going to get away with that. And not only that, we're bringing stuff out. And we're seeing this play out in our personal lives, but we're also seeing it globally and especially nationwide. So nationally. So we can't, they're not going to get away with shoving things under the carpet any longer.
Right.
I am, however, just disappointed because we all sit here and watch it play out on national TV, all these things. And it still appears they're getting away with it.
Right.
But they're not. They're not going to, it's not going to continue. So those of us who easily step into fear, let's take a step back because they're not going to get away with this.
Well,
however, that being said, we can't sit back on the couch and do nothing. We are here for a purpose. All of us, this family here, we're here for a purpose this time around, to bring a voice. We chose this time. We chose this time to bring, and so we have a responsibility.
Right. And with the Texas thing, that thing I see as well, it is that, women's issues. We've just been kind of like, well, everything seems okay. And like you said, there's been this very insidious like movement to push us in a certain direction while we were all looking the other way. But with that, I really do see this as it is it's an act of, if you step back from it, it is an act of desperation from a dying breed. I mean, this what they did.
Patriarchal.
It's the Hail Mary, to try to save this party and save it from itself. And I think they just put the nail in the coffin. I know they don't see it that way right now, but that's the way that I'm picking up on it. That's the way I feel about it. I think that's it. They just did it. And I do not see it being good for them at all. So, they're dinosaurs. They're dying out. They're killing their own people.
Yeah.
With COVID. I mean, it's absolute insanity. So
yeah.
Yeah, it's all bad. So
it's all bad right now, you guys. It's all bad.
It's all bad.
Okay, we're done.
We're done. Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Have a nice day.
Talking. I just want to stop and say hi, everyone.
Hello.
I know we just dove right in because it's a lot of energy right now. But hi, Lucienne. Thank you for being here. And she's going to field questions when we open up to questions and stuff. So just want to, hi, greeter, hugs to you, Rochelle. Hello.
Hello.
Tanya, hello, Chris. Butterflies, free ocean, Rondaroo, hello, Seascape. Good to see you all.
Hello.
Sheila, Inquisitive Tarot is in the house as well. Good to see you. So, Basha, hello, Rita, David. I love it. Good to see you guys. Okay, Connie's in the house. So, and on top of it all, like you said, we're also dealing with some major global disasters here with the hurricane just hitting up that whole coast, and the loss of life with that, and just the aftermath of that. It really shakes you up. It's kind of like if you have and this is on a smaller scale, but it's very similar to if someone has broken in your home, you never feel safe in your home again. It's stolen. They stole more than your TV. They've also taken some of your security. And I feel like on a bigger scale, that's kind of happened with you go along with life and you feel safe on your day to day. And all of a sudden that's been taken. And now you are dealing with that aftermath as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's weird because I want to say it was about a year and a half ago, I think it was my 2020 actually predictions for 2020. Mm-hmm. And all I could see was water, just water, and water, and water disasters and flooding and hurricanes, and it was all. I mean, of course, California's burning, so it wasn't that. Right, it wasn't California. Yeah. But I just saw just tons and tons of water, and of course, timing is weird. But I feel like even some of the images that I'm seeing are things I remember seeing. It's almost like I would have, if I didn't remember it, I would have deja vu, because right. It was definitely like images that I saw. And so this is, but climate change is a thing again. How long have we been hearing this? How long have we known about this?
Right.
So long. And individuals, want to do things, of course, but it's the people we put in charge, the people that we put into these positions of power that have no business being there. the only thing I can say is that thank goodness we have, with all of these disasters, thank goodness we do have Joe Biden there, and he has FEMA running well, and it's not Trump, because could you imagine?
Oh.
I mean, it would just be horrible.
It would have been a whole different scenario. And I think, from this playbook that they all have kind of going on, that this was why they were so desperate to have Trump in, because they would have, this is happening in Texas, but it could also easily happen in California if this thing is turned over, right?
Right.
So we can see it kind of trickling into these states, and this slow takeover of this patriarchal takeover of controlling women again, and taking back their control, and I see a lot of people, and this is for entertainment purposes only, using the word Taliban and what this looks like, fascism, whatever you want to use for this.
It's a last grasp. I mean, it really is. You can feel it in the desperate acts that are happening, the desperate things they're trying to do to steal stuff, to make stuff happen, to just get whatever is they possibly can, while they still can. It's coming to an end. They know it. They know it.
Yeah.
They know it is. And I know that it's horrible to live through this and have to go through all of the last gasping, because that's going to be the ugliest part, right? Is when they're getting desperate and trying to be empowered. That's when it gets scary. But that is what's happening. It is their death rattle. Thank you. And Donnell, happy birthday. I wanted to say that. I saw that it was Donnell's birthday. So
happy birthday, Danielle. Hi, Christina. Donnell. Okay. Jima, blessings to you. Good to see you here. And I also feel, though, strongly that this was in the playbook, and they were hoping Trump was going to be in there to really do this takeover. Rhonda Rue, blessings to you. Thank you so much. That they truly wanted to. This was part of the huge playbook from the beginning. They've been ushering this in. So, but again, they're now that he's not there, they still are. It has become this Hail Mary, like you're talking about. Yeah.
And the most like disgusting, it's because with the rape and incest thing is, even in the case of it, it's the cruelest, most gross exit, of any party. I mean, the party's just gotten so awful, and it's almost like a sickness. They're under a spell or a sickness that I feel like you almost can't believe it, but that is what it is. So a sickness in the soul is what it is.
But that being said, it doesn't mean we can just sit back and watch this play out.
No,
we still have a part in this to stop it.
Yeah.
Right. So, and that's kind of, we want to, what can we do? What do we do? How do we get our voices heard? How do we stand up for our sisters in Texas? And since they can't stand up for themselves, apparently, and if anybody else tries to help them while they're there, they'll get sued for $10,000. It's just, I mean, this is real. This is real. This is real in our on our soil. It's Kimberly King, GOP equals fascism.
Yeah.
Entertainment purposes only. Yeah. What specifically can we do? Mary's asking. Well, support those organizations that are for women's rights, and that have the tools to make change, support them, vote, call the the same old things that we always say, but also, this is the time to speak up. For our ladies, it just is for our rights. And march, get in some marches. I'm sure that the people who are strong in that will begin those up where we can jump in those, just be safe. And we need to, it makes a difference. Our voice makes a difference, and we have a voice, and we're here during this time period. That means we're supposed to do something.
Right. Exactly. And, and yeah, like you said, give money to organizations that are going after this, and, calling your senators, calling your House people, voting. Voting's a huge thing. If you're in California, please vote in the recall, because it's ridiculous. And I always talk about on my channel, Debbie, about, make sure that it's during these times where you really need to look inward, self-care, make sure you're good, and then go out and do things that you think will help. And then once you've done that, try to let it go, because if you just sit and let it eat at you and you get angry and you can't do anything, you get tied up in knots, it doesn't help. When you can maintain that energy, that it really does help the collective energy. It really, really does. So make sure to take care of yourselves during this, and make sure you're okay. Make sure this is going to trigger don't you think, Debbie, as your psychologist, psychiatrist, and, a psychology, this is going to be a trigger for a lot of women, what Texas just did. A lot of triggers about abuse and, gaslighting and all of this stuff. It's going to be a really big trigger for women. So make sure you are okay, and make sure you talk these things out with someone or, don't keep it in if it triggers you, or have a good old cry and then get centered again and get grounded, because, like Debbie said, we have work to do, right?
We have work to do. And I love that, Kim. It's a good point that this is the time to really link arms. They think that they won something. They feel like they have won back control over women, but we're going to show them differently. And if it's just literally or figuratively linking up with just the women that are in your life, and just speaking love and empowerment to them, these are all positive energy, towards our strength. But it's time to link arms. It's time to support one another. And it, like Kim said, it's going to hit everyone differently. And so just be aware of how you're responding internally, and let's talk about it. Let's keep this conversation going. That's the thing. If you feel like there's really nothing I can do, I'm isolated, or I'm this or that, keep talking about it. Keep it out from under the carpet. Mm-hmm. Keep giving a voice to it. Because that's another thing that happens is silence, isn't
right?
And that's a trigger for people as well. Silence.
Right.
So let's keep the dialogue.
Oh, I'm seeing people from Texas, and I'm so, I'm just with you right now. I don't know how differently I'd be acting right now if I actually were in Texas. I'm sure it's a whole different ballgame there. And my heart and my, is really with you in Texas. It really, really is.
A lot of people are making reference to the Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have some family here from Texas. Let us know what Texas here. Also, we hate all of them. How else are you feeling in Texas? Let us know. We want to support. We want to support you there. Yeah, Jill's in Texas.
Jill,
Yeah. So what is it? I mean, I just.
Okay, a March for Women's Rights is being planned for October 2nd for
Okay.
nationwide. So that's when you're going to see who's mad about this, who doesn't like it. And it's not going to be this little tiny group that we see following Trump around. It's going to be.
Yeah. Okay, so Jill says she's angry. So there's anger. Good. Yeah. So take that anger and let's take that energy and put it towards some making change in a good way.
Yeah. Right. And you have to feel the feelings,
right? Shield maiden. It's all good. I feel like it's too far away too, Jill.
Yeah, I feel like that too.
I feel okay, so Terry says there's fear.
Yeah.
Again, take that fear, take a look at it, see if there's any connections to triggers that we were just talking about, and recognize those, and send healing and understanding, but then use that again, put that into empowerment to speak up now, because we can. But again, being in Texas, can they march even? You know what I mean? What's going on?
It's, and it's, I think you have to feel the feelings. Otherwise they come back up in some weird way. So you have to feel the feelings when they come up. Just don't stay there. Right. Feel it. Yesterday was a day I just felt it. I just did. And then today I felt like, okay, I'm ready to get up again and move again. After last night, I had a movement, moving again. But yeah.
Okay, so Sleuth Jill says she's in Dallas, and yes, we can move mountains as a collective. Amen. Let's grab onto that energy. So we're going to take our fear, our anger, our sadness, despair, any of those emotions that we're going through, because I think we'll kind of go through many feelings over the next few weeks or so, but let's stay in with the collective. Let's stay linked.
Yeah.
Let's keep our voices going. Outrage. Yes, Tanya. Outrage. So keep strong. Reach out. If it's getting like overwhelming, please reach out to your sisters.
Mm-hmm.
We have to use our voice. Yes, Rhonda.
And
Little Sparrow Tarot. I love that. And that is so true. We have seen time and time again, how our voices actually do matter. When we get out into these marches, it actually does matter. Yeah. So let's keep that in mind.
It does. It really, really does.
Yeah, I agree, Judith. We need to get out in droves. We just need to start now.
Yeah, exactly. I think people are there. One thing I thought was really interesting when I was watching coverage about Texas yesterday was the most angry and really focused people that we're talking about were men. I think that's a big difference now, that women aren't just it's not just women that are outraged about this. It's men too.
That's true. I did want to bring that in. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I really have felt today that they have just messed up massively. I just feel like it's too much. It's way over the top. And I think they have just killed their chances for 2022. I think this is it. They have overstepped in a way that I feel like they won't be able to put the genie back in the bottle, and it's going to be a disaster for them. So I even think Republicans will be angry at Republicans for doing this. I just think it's just a loser. It's going to be,
Yeah.
And they can do things like this. They do things like this all the time, but we know that they kind of end with a whimper. We're not going backwards. So, in Hairspray, they say you can't stop the beat, and you can't. We're evolving. We're going forward. You can't make us go backwards.
Yeah, we don't fit. We don't fit in yesterday.
Yeah, we're not going to do that. So
we just no longer fit. Yeah. And but it doesn't mean they're not going to try.
Exactly.
Because literally, I feel like the underlining thing of this, whoever is the puppet master here trying to control this narrative is a link to fascism.
Yeah.
For entertainment purposes only.
Okay. So do you want to?
Yeah, let's do some questions.
Supportive men. Yes, we do.
And Lucian, I'll leave it up to you to navigate through those. I know there's a lot of questions, a lot of different directions we can go, but I wanted to read this. Harry's mom. Interesting. That's interesting, Harry's mom. Yep. Standing up for their rights.
Unsanitary products. Oh.
There's some really cool things in history where a woman just okay, you don't need me? All right, I'm out. You know what I mean? And then they realize, oh, we do,
Yeah, exactly.
So I feel like there's lots of stories like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we often don't realize our own power as an individual, but as the collective superpower, when we really, really do have so much power together. I think people too, this comes on the end of Trump. I think people are tired. We're tired, right?
Yeah,
we've been fighting for such a long time. It can't get a break, but just like I said, self-care, take a deep breath, and then get back in the game. We'll carry each other. Exhausted. Exactly.
Yeah.
I think everybody's feeling that. We just feel tired.
Oh, okay. I missed the question. Thank you, Lucian. Scroll up. How did I miss it? I'm no joke, staring at the
I know too, though. It's
many comments. How did I miss it? I still don't see it. Oh, I see where she said, Deb, scroll up. Wow, it's really back here. For entertainment purpose only. Sorry, guys. We'll get to it.
Yeah, and someone was just saying, the news in small doses. I think that's so true. It's so easy to get hooked in and just sit there and watch every single thing because there's so much going on right now. But get your updates and then get off. That's what I think.
Okay, Lucian, I am so sorry, but I scrolled all the way up. And I think there's too many comments for me. You know how it runs out. So sorry, you're going to have to write it again. Everyone who typed questions, kindly retype them with red hearts and all caps. Okay. Oh, yeah, that helps us find them. So is Trump going to run in 2024? Okay, let's just put this one up there since it's there and I see it. Catherine, thank you. Blessings to you. It's kind. Thank you for your support. Okay.
So, okay. I have been feeling like this month at that rally he's having in Washington, I think he may announce something. But here's the thing, is that I have consistently not seen him like as the nominee in 2024. So I feel like this is I feel he may make an announcement, but I feel it's just to grift. It's just to make money. His businesses are not doing well. He's got tons of legal stuff going on. I feel like it's just a cash grab, and that's what it's about. Okay. He likes attention, he likes attention, but I don't think, I think he would love to be president again. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like it's not going to go anywhere, and it is just to grift. He's needs money, so he's gonna he sees it as a cash grab. So I think he may. So don't freak out if he does announce something like that this month.
Okay. Yeah, everything's a cash grab for him. That's
it.
However, that being said, whoever the puppet master is, I always feel like there's a puppet master, that he may feel like, with this whole Texas thing happening and all these other things kind of moving in and California and all that, he thinks he thinks maybe he has a chance.
Right. Well, and like I said, I think he would love it, but I think that if he announces it really is just to make money right now. The other thing that I've noticed about Republicans is that even during the whole Trump thing and even the run up to the election, their timing's off. Do you ever notice that the timing is off?
The timing, yeah.
Had they done that post office deal a little bit later, it would have probably worked, but it wasn't. It was earlier. Their timing's always off, and I do feel like it's a divine kind of pushing or nudging, because I feel like this is the same thing. He's going to jump in there thinking, I've got all these crises I can jump on, and it's only 2021. There's going to be that this administration, it's going to ebb and flow. He's going to, his thing's gone down, his approval rating's gone down. It'll go back up.
Right.
So he's premature, which is, I can make a joke about that, but I won't. But he's premature because he's not. It's too early, and he's just doing it to grift, and will be apparent by 2022 when they lose. So, yeah. And he doesn't like to be associated with losers, as we know. So he'll probably go on his merry way or whatever, go to jail. I really think that a lot of these lawsuits and things are going to be unfolding over the course of the fall and the winter. And it's going to be, we're going to be looking at a completely different story in 2022. That's just the way I say it. What do you get, Debbie?
Okay, so
and what do you say?
Yeah, I do feel a lot. It just, it's always a grifting thing going on with him, a play. But I also feel that part of him feels like, as these other things are happening, he's like, well, I might have a chance.
Right. He's, of course, yeah.
But you guys don't step into fear. I don't,
No, don't.
It's not going to go anywhere.
No, don't step into fear. And you're right. I mean, that's what he does best, right? Is just making fun of other people and their failings and acting like he's a big shot. So don't be surprised. He has very few tricks in his trick bag. We've seen all of them. They're all lame. He has a little group following him around from town to town. It's pathetic. It's sad. And whatever.
And I feel it's very calculating. Just remember, it's very calculating. And I feel like it's just, and then you have that Band-Aid. It's just a surface thing. It's not going to go anywhere. It's just a bunch of nothing.
Right. But when people hear it, I think people are gonna be like, oh my gosh, and now Trump's coming, because all this other stuff is happening. But that's the point, right? That's how they want us to feel. They want us to feel like we're defeated and they're coming, and and that isn't it at all.
Yeah.
It's they who are afraid, and they who are making the last attempt to try to grab some power before it's all gone. So do not step into fear. Don't at all. And in fact, start to manifest what you want to happen next. We want voting rights. We want women's rights. We want these things. So start manifesting them, and then meditating on and figuring out, and how do I move towards that energy, towards that manifestation? How do I move towards it? How do I get my vibration to where that is? Because that's where I want to be.
Exactly.
Yeah, we'll do this.
We got this. I also understand and am feeling the Trump PTSD that we all have. And so I understand that some of our feelings that we may get may be a little stronger than they normally would be, just because what we've already gone through. So we do understand that, but just harness that as best you can, and understand and trust and have faith, and that it's not in the cards, so to speak.
No, it's a grift. He needs money. He needs money.
Yeah.
And he wants to get on that national stage again to try and get people to give him money, but it isn't going to be the same. So, again, can't go backwards.
We're not going backwards.
No, we're not going backwards.
Okay. It's
half-heartedly, yes, he'll probably run for 2024, but I don't see him as the nominee, and I never have. So
no,
just FYI.
Okay. Okay, Lucian. I know there's a lot of she fielded it, but I'm like, whoa, lots of questions coming up, and I know they keep typing and going away, and I don't want to miss them. So I feel like, Lucian, you caught some of them for us.
Okay.
Yes, a lot. Okay, cool. She's gonna, if you can type one of those. I know they're probably not in order, so you guys let that go, because there were so many at one time. We were just trying to grab them out. So thank you, Lucian, for doing that. But if your question didn't get on there, that's okay. Oh, scroll up. Okay. Scroll up. Is it one that you posted, Lucian?
She's saying, Deb, scroll up.
I know, and I am, but I don't know what I'm looking for. Okay, look at this for now. But Lucian, if you could find some of the questions and just write them out, and then that'd be awesome. That would help. That way we're not missing people, you know what I mean? Just have a few, right?
Fault line.
Will there be an earthquake soon along the Madrid fault line? Okay. Madrid.
You know, I'm seeing some actually some little tremors, like little things. I don't feel like there's a big one right away. Anyway, I'm not seeing that, but I do feel like there might be some little shakers, or people. It might unnerve people a little bit, but it doesn't feel like a huge. Doesn't feel like that at all.
Yeah.
Like some property, maybe, like things like that. It does, but it doesn't feel, you know. And to be honest, I don't always feel like natural disasters are something I naturally, can hone in on. If it's really obvious, like
Right.
if it's something that's definitely coming, I'll pick up on it.
Right.
Like the water and stuff like that. I mean, it was just like crazy. But if it's, but I don't feel like it's something I naturally can just hone in on. Some people are really, really good at that. And I don't feel like it's one of my stronger suits. But as far as an earthquake, that's what I'm getting.
Yeah.
That little disclaimer. That is what I'm seeing. It's just some little shit.
And it's also hard when you say earthquake soon. So that's
right.
So I do see some shaking up for sure. I'm not getting the red flags like you're not getting the red flags either. So, but I'm gonna throw some cards on this too.
Okay.
Just to back up our story.
And soon I think of as like 6 months, a year, okay. Within the year or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm like you. I'm not like Linda G's. She really taps into the and I will also get if it's going to be something. So
yeah,
I'm not getting a big red flag on this one. Yeah, I feel like we're good. I think we're good for the next 6 months. How's that? I've thrown 3 times. Just to make sure. I want everybody to be safe. But also be prepared for these things because this is what our globe is turning into these days. It seems we're moving into a whole different shift with the globe as well. So, I think that's it on that one. Here's one from Ed.
Will Justice Alito feel pain for his role in allowing the ban to go into effect? And what about the other justices that supported the crazy ban? Someone actually who I think feels really badly about how this went is Chief Justice Roberts. I know he was on the dissenting side. So, but I feel like he really is very affected by it, and actually thinks a little less of his like colleagues because of the way that this went down. I feel it really did. He was really unhappy with it. So, and he's not one of my favorite people, but but I do feel his. He was very upset about that. So.
I'm also seeing a little bit of, I'm also seeing like, this is metaphor, you guys, for those of you who are new watching or whatever. Welcome, by the way. But I see their hands being like this. So I feel like some of them were under something else that's kind of dictating to them for this signing. So I feel
into someone or
someone, something, where they had to. It was like a forced into type of deal,
right?
Which is interesting. I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts on that? But that's what they're showing me. Is
I think that's true. I feel like Alito, for me, he comes across as though he's very good at compartmentalizing. So it's kind of like, I can do this over here, and then once it's done, that's it. I move to this other thing. I feel like he isn't a kind of person who dwells on stuff once it's done. So I feel like, I guess I want to say no. I don't feel like he'll, maybe if he starts to hear stories and things like that come out, but I feel like he's one of those people that can kind of compartmentalize in kind of a almost a not sociopath, but kind of just that detached way. Yeah. This is my job and this is done. Okay, I voted this way. Okay, that's done. Now I'll do this. There's no going back and self-reflecting, or I don't see him as that way at all. What's done is done. I feel like that's his attitude of, once he makes a decision, that's it. What do you get for him, Debbie?
Well, I kind of read more on kind of the overall of this, and they weird cards. I have the Green Reaper, Fire, and Dumpster. So again, I feel like they were brought in to wreak this stuff.
Right.
And someone's watching them. This is the challenge card. Someone is watching them and making sure that they do what they're supposed to do. However, I feel like it's not going to hold, guys. I don't feel like it's going to hold. You have the dust and the wind. It's going to be blown. But as far as this question, let me look into that. But overall, in general, some of these people are literally, I feel they were brought in for a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting, these cards are making me feel sick to my stomach. These three.
Interesting.
The Fire, the Dumpster, the Grim Reaper.
Because it's nothing good. It's nothing all good. Bad. It's all.
Yeah. And they're being watched over, like.
Right. Well, we got, I mean, and again, entertainment purposes only, but we got to peek into this world a little bit through Epstein. That's
Yes.
where we kind of found this kind of really ugly underneath it all, what things that go on that we have no idea about. And so I can understand that energy is just, it's all bad. It's all negative. Even the money that they give them comes from a horrible place.
Yeah.
It's all bad. And that kind of stuff, it can work for a while, but that kind of energy, it only goes so far.
Mm-hmm.
The energy of love and compassion and these things, those are far-reaching energies, right? They have mileage, they go. These ones are short, impactful, because they can hurt and they can really do damage, but they do die out. They're very, they're not these, they don't have that kind of reach. But yeah, it's horrible.
It is horrible. I like that. They will reap what they sow. So if you think of those cards, the Grim Reaper and the dumpster, you know what I mean? And the fire. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. That's right.
Thank you, Lucian. Sorry. I laugh because I probably put her through hell right now because
Oh, sorry.
I was like, oh no, we're just going to take questions out. Didn't know there was going to be a billion questions. So thank you, Lucian, that this helps. Okay. Sandy, a climate change bringing in all these tornadoes. Oh, I truly get a yes on that there's a link to climate change for sure. And it's like this, I feel like the feeling I get with this is like, I just want to kind of tilt the earth just a little bit back, you know what I mean? Or something to get it. But so I do feel that it has to do with the climate change and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's going to continue in, especially stuff like tornadoes. I feel like it's going to happen in just weird places. Unusual places where things like this just don't happen, and they're happening now. But these people, the people in charge and all these big companies have just abused the earth for so long. Mm-hmm. I just think it's with it, there's an action, there's a reaction. This is the reaction of the earth being treated like garbage for
exactly.
Years and years and years.
And she has to adjust. She has to adjust somehow. And so do we. Yeah. We're all connected, guys. Remember, there's connection. And so we have to adjust. She has to adjust. Yeah. People are finally thinking about it, Connie. And now that I see Connie, that reminds me of, this is where our native people will come back into empowerment because of this shift with the earth. And so Marita's bringing her question with Mother Earth, and she's a woman, by the way. She's trying to wake us up, but how is she doing? She has to do this adjust. She has to adjust. She will always survive, right? And so she will do what she needs to survive. So it's not her that needs to change. It's us who need to change. Yeah. And I keep going back to the Deborah. Thank you so much for your support. It's very kind. I just want to go like this with the earth just a little bit, because it's like okay, the water isn't usually over there. It usually comes over here and we kind of balance it out, but it's like it's not normal.
Right.
It's not
And
normal.
it's striving for balance again, right?
Yeah,
it's just trying to get to someplace healthy again. And this is what's happening. And it's the same people, right? These big corporations and these people with all this money that are trying to, they're the ones that have been saying it's a hoax. It's not true. It's scientists are wrong. It's just a liberal hoax. And it's the same people.
So we need to adjust ourselves.
Yes.
So.
Yes. And be friendly with nature again. We're so divorced from it. And, we have the times where we'll go into the mountains and go backpacking or whatever, but we have lost that real, not all of us, not everybody, but we've lost that real connection to how connected we are to nature.
Yeah. Yep. Sonja, thank you. Blessings to you.
Hey, Sonja.
And bonds, yes. Recycle, reduce, recycle, reuse. That's something easy that we can do. That's the easy part. And then once we get that down, once you guys, if you've already gotten that down, then we need to even go above that. So let's keep looking for ways to help, including planting gardens and doing that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I want to put this in before I lose it.
Thank you, Cher Bear.
And I want to throw this up here, but I also, before we get to that question, did I miss something? Oh, Cher Bear, thank you. Blessings. Thank you for your support. Yeah, we're off kilter. This is so funny. Kim, you're going to love this. So we're still in the earth question. We're not to RBG yet. We are off kilter. Oh my gosh. Right? And that water, right, is pouring where it's not supposed to go. So the key here, you guys, I love this. These cards make me, okay, I'm not sick on these ones. So the key is to love our Mother Earth, love Earth, the Earth, and really be calculating on just realizing the resource that she is and what she offers. Okay. And there's,
thank you,
Pam, blessings to you. Thank you so much for your support. Love and light. There's tears here. She's shedding her tears. She's also protecting us. So in the midst of some of her kids are good and some of her kids are acting out, you know what I mean? She still loves us all, but we need to, who's that?
Little Lucy Goose.
Lucy has something to say about Mother Earth.
She really does.
Oh.
Lucy, she's after my cord. Okay.
So interesting, isn't that funny with the
perfect, yeah. Yeah.
Drunken sailor in the water.
I know.
Okay. Thank you. I have 111 cards here, and those came out. And I went,
it's exactly like that. A drunken sailor, as a perfect metaphor for the way people, that companies and governments have acted, just like taking whatever they can from the earth and not giving anything back. Just take, and you can't do that.
Can't do that.
At some point, it's like you said, it's going to tip. At some point, it's not okay.
And I see that Spirit whispers in the house. Big hugs to you. Please post and he channels Pan, who is really has this connection with Earth and gives a lot of awesome messages. Please check his channel out, number one. Number two, feel free to write anything that you're hearing from Pan regarding Earth and what we can do here as well. Just put it out to the community here. Okay, now we're going to look at LLC's. Does RBG have a message for us? Ooh, this will be fun. Oh, gosh. This is a good question, by the way. Interesting. She came in at first, and to show me it was her, and she has her. Does Lucy want to go out?
I think she does.
Lucy.
I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna run out and take her out real quick.
I'm feeling you, Lucy. I'm feeling you.
Yes.
Mama, take me out. So she's coming in, and she comes in. She's wearing her to let me know it's her, and she's, but she's in the white collar and her robes and stuff. But then she immediately moves into where she literally is clipping, out, smelling flowers and pruning and doing that. And she's bringing a calmness with this. Okay. So she's not negating what we're going through and what we're questioning and our fears and what's going on with the courts. And here's something that we all just fully have to put our trust in, because they rule the land and they can make a change in a heartbeat, like we're seeing. And so I love that she came in first with the robes on and her little collar, and then but then also that peace and calmness. And so try not to put our fear energy in, but stay calm. It will. And she's showing me the what are those? Oh my gosh. The balancing. Okay. It will balance back, but she's also scales. Thank you, Mew. Thank you. She's also showing a group of people on the other side at a table, and it's like they're all the scales of justice. Yes. Thank you, you guys. And they're all they're assisting from the other side. So she's also telling me it's all like it's all happening here in order. Okay, so we might feel like crazy and like what just happened, but it's going to play out. It's almost like it needs to get to this point to play out on the other side. Does that make sense, you guys? Okay.
Okay. Here I am. Completely.
All right.
Now. Okay. 1 second.
She's again encouraging us to put our energy towards not in the fear, but in enlightenment and change. So Eliza, I like how you put that. Lots of divine order unfolding these days. That's exactly what she's saying. Wow, you did good.
So I'm getting to make the change that you want to see. Make it happen. She's saying something like we're a country built on change. That's what we do best. Make a change. Make the change you want to see.
Mm-hmm.
Her energy is very, to me, extremely, it feels very just sure of us and sure of what we can do.
Yeah.
Very much so. It's not even a doubt. She just feels like, you can do this. Just do this. Just do it. It really is like that.
Yeah.
Just do it.
I got the troll, you guys. Okay, so so when she was coming in over here, she came in business like, with her robe and her little white thing here. But then she changed out quickly, and she was in a garden and just pruning and doing things like that. So I felt like super peaceful when she was doing that. And then she didn't give her message in her robes to us. She gave her message to us while she was in her rose garden and pruning and like that. So really encouraging everyone to kind of come from that place. I also felt like it was a deeper, it was a very spiritual place as well. Like a place of wisdom, and it's going to play out. But go ahead. Sorry.
No, I think that's right. I think
it was like she wanted to calm us down right away. She's like, okay, it's okay.
Yeah.
It'll be okay.
But there's nothing in her energy that's sad or has despair or anything. It doesn't come across like that. Sometimes when I've read, I can feel the sadness on the other side for us. It's not like that. It's just like, just do it. You can do this. You can do it. This is what this country does. We change, we evolve, we go forward. You can do this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She also loves the United States. She really has a love for this country in particular. She really does.
Well, she says we have the most potential to make change and progress for humanity globally. And I feel like she took that seriously, right? She took that seriously.
And for me, she's young. She looks about 25.
Yeah.
And she has her hair kind of pulled back. It's kind of a little bit longer and pulled back on the sides. And she's just in a regular, just a dress. But she looks about 25 years old. She's really good.
Awesome, yeah. Yeah, she looks young over here as well. When she first came in, she let me know it was her in her robe and all that. And then she switched to the garden scene.
And she has a very feminine energy, actually. It's a very strong energy, but it's very feminine. It's not, sometimes those kind of women that are real go-getters, sometimes they can come in with a kind of a masculine energy. Yeah. She doesn't have that. No. At least I don't feel like she's very feminine.
Yeah. Well,
I think she's proud of that too. I think she's proud of women. And so maybe she's showing more of that part of herself for us right now, because we need that. We need the help.
Yeah.
The sisterhood.
The sisterhood. Yeah. Yeah. Don't put away your femininity just because you feel like we need to do that to be in a man's world. No. Mm-mm. That's not the truth.
No. Oh, interesting. She just said they're shaking behind the scenes. They're shaking behind the scenes. She just said, it's a false strength. They're shaking behind the scenes. So
That would make
just
sense.
know that it's a fault. So they're projecting strength, but they don't have that behind the scenes. They're shaking. They're worried, nervous, scared.
Yeah, because all of a sudden this she's showing a big spotlight on them. Yeah, they're going to be caught. They're going to be caught. Phew, that's a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff. Spirit Whisperer says all 4 elements are likely to act up at least till the end of the year and into 2022. It's up to humanity really to how dramatic the events need to be. So are we going to allow this to be a train wreck or just a fender bender? All the earth stuff happening. So that's true. So we can still impact it. So don't just sit back and go, well, it's already too late. It's not. Either we're going to have a fender bender on this earth or we're going to have a train wreck. What do we want?
It was interesting, Debbie, because when I looked at this before, when I looked at what's that?
I know.
I know. When I looked at that before, I felt like as soon as the world kind of got together and we're like, okay, we're going to do something about climate change, things just started to happen. It's like inventions. People were like inventing things that helped kind of reverse things. It was just like all of a sudden there was this help that to do this because we all decided to do it finally.
Yeah.
And that's what Spirit wanted. And so as soon as that starts, we just get this big push. But I saw like different kind of like inventions and things that will kind of help to reverse stuff and make things a little better. And something that is going to be it almost seems like it goes at the bottom of the ocean or something.
Oh.
I don't know what it is, but it's just like these things start coming to Earth to help us do this. So it really is like we have to just get to the point where it's like, okay, let's do this. And then all the help comes. So, but while we're fighting it or saying no, or it's fake, we don't like it, nothing can happen. It's like
exactly
we're go in a direction.
They're not going to, help is not going to come to people who aren't going to help themselves. We gotta jump on this.
That's right.
So.
Okay. Well, thank you, RBG. Those were great messages.
Yeah. It's just, yeah. Okay. Will we ever figure out?
Desalinization? I don't know what that is. Can someone tell me what that is? Do you know, Debbie, what that is?
I feel like I feel that it has something to do with water, right? Like I feel like that's like a water plant thing, right? It's like taking the salt out of water.
Oh, okay.
Now, my issue with this is they're putting the salt back in the ocean. Well, that'll make the ocean oversalted. So they need to find out how to do that, but not put the salt back into the ocean. And that's right now, that's what they're doing that. And so, yep. And I'm getting some backup on that. Yes, it's about taking the salt out of the water, converting ocean water to drinkable water. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but from my understanding, they're putting salt back into the ocean, which will kill everything in the ocean. So why? I mean, don't they already? They know that, right? Because I'm not the smartest one in the. Y'all know that I'm not the smartest one in the group here, and I know that. So is it something they need to figure out, or? Yeah. So I mean, they're already working on it in many places. Well, California one, but it's so very short. Thank you, Cat's Cauldron. Such a terrible thing for the health of the marine life. Very short-sighted. Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, okay, us humans, we're just like, ooh, we need water. We're going to kill the ocean to get water. Well, that doesn't help. You guys, doesn't help. Can they do it without? That's what we need to find out, Marita. Will they figure this out?
So I feel like they.
Catherine said, I lived in Dubai. That's how they are watering the land.
Okay.
But then they're putting the salt back in the ocean. What's become of that? I mean, that's the first thing that came to me was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, it's sea salt. Just save it and sell it. Why put it back in the ocean? Convert it into batteries for cars. Good idea, Tasha.
I feel like they don't have quite. I feel like, yes, eventually we will be doing this, but I feel like right now that it's premature. They haven't thought of the right way to do this, or they haven't figured out the way this can be done in a kind of a large scale way that is good for everyone. They haven't figured that out yet, but they will.
Yep.
It's just, but it's not happening right now. It's whatever they're doing, it's not quite there. It feels off to me.
Yeah. And they are, okay. Very expensive. Exactly, Catherine. This is a challenge, is the money behind this, right? They do need to continue to look at it and measure the cost on our plan. They can't. We're already looking at a mess with our planet, so they need to back it up a little bit and figure it out. But I feel like they will. I feel like they're really looking at this. This is one of the top things they're looking at. I feel like.
It's really strange. I'm even feeling like it's not this generation's. It's not for this generation. It's going to be for the next one. They're going to do it. That's what I'm feeling. I don't think it will be like in the next 10 years, something like that. Yeah. It feels like the next generation. It feels like it'll
really be able to do it cleanly in the next generation for sure. I do feel like there's going to be some huge breakthroughs in about 5 years. But I think you're right. We're not going to see this really work cleanly until that next generation steps into those positions.
Yeah.
They're coming in with knowledge that we don't have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was getting in the next 5 years, I kept hearing 5 years, so I figured that's what it meant.
That's a good question, though. That I learned something. I learned something new.
Now just put that on your prayer list too.
I know
Another
what
thing to pray for.
visualization is now.
Yeah.
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 Do you see a major disaster coming in September? As predicted, a lot of souls will cross over in September. Well, we've had a lot of souls crossing over. I mean,
we just
we knew
did.
that was going to happen. That, you know, I kept getting animals and people. This was back right before the pandemic hit. In fact, it was right before my trip to the UK. I got that. It is part of a bigger picture, though. There's something about this that just feels like I don't even know if we'd understand it really. It's just a bigger picture kind of thing happening.
Yeah.
And there's choice involved here too. I feel like people, like, before coming here, it's kind of like, if this goes down, this is where I want to be. This is where I want to be. It is like we're taking our places for what's.
Are you seeing the same thing I'm seeing over here?
Am I seeing? Is that what you're seeing too, Debbie?
Yeah, I'm seeing like this group of people coming, and you have this. But you know, again, they show me in these funny metaphors, and I wouldn't say this funny, but you know what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. And they're all coming. It's like, okay, you guys, you know, this is, you know, what was planned, and this is where you chose, and you know, like that. I'm watching this whole scene play out. I'm like, what? Okay, and then you start telling them, like, oh,
that's exactly
what's seeing the same thing I'm seeing.
So think of it that way. That, you know, because these things don't have to play out this way, right? This is a path we're on, and so, but it was explained to us as a possibility, and in that possibility, where do you want to be? What do you want to be doing? And we're taking our places right now.
Group soul contract. That's a good way to put it, Eliza.
Yeah.
She has the best way of wording things.
Yeah,
Eliza,
absolutely.
Come on every time.
Yeah.
I heard while you were talking, they were saying, but again, you have free will. So you can, if you've decided not to step in this exit time, you can do that as well. But yes, this is, take in your heart that this was all part of design for a reason. Oh, Eliza says, thanks, Debbie. I've been a writer for a while. Well, you can tell. That's awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I'm getting pain in my heart into October. It's not a September thing, really. I mean, not just a September. I think we're seeing a lot. It's barely September, and we're already seeing a lot. But I feel it will move into October as well. And so let's just continue to pray. It's those of us who are left behind that carry the pain.
I'm also seeing some stuff something in the winter with something freezing, or some places freezing. I'm thinking of like the thing that happened in Texas. It's stuff like that. I feel like it's going to affect like electricity and people's, just the way they're living, heat and stuff like that. I am seeing that. So if you are in a place where that could happen, like in those cold places where, like Debbie, you're in Colorado, get a generator, do what you can to make sure that you're prepared just in case, because I do feel like
it's not even the cold places that need to be prepared, because we usually are prepared. It's the places that don't get as cold that need to be prepared, because they're gonna get cold this year, right?
You're right, Debbie. Yeah, because Texas, we did not see that coming.
No.
But it does feel good. Yeah.
Exactly, Smiling Heart. Even in Florida, be prepared for these crazy shifts in weather, it's like, wait a minute, it doesn't usually get cold there. Just like we were feeling with when I was like, I need to just go like this with the earth a little. It's the same thing when we get to the cold time, that, wait a minute, it's usually snowing in Colorado, but now it's snowing in California. So, so everybody needs to be prepared. So prepare the best you can. I feel like batteries. I keep hearing batteries. Stock up on those batteries. Stock up on things like that can keep, get battery. If you can't afford a generator, get, like, there's blankets that heat up and you plug them into a battery. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing as well. Things that can use batteries.
Yeah.
Solar is great, but if you're not getting the sun, it's not going to charge us up as strong as you need. Of course it will, but you know what I mean? Propane girl, do what you guys can to stock up and do, and be prepared for crazy stuff. I agree. What's 6 months from now? September.
It's like March or something, or no, it's like
January, February. There's something's going on then.
Okay.
6 months. 6 months out from now, we're gonna have some ice. I'm hearing ice.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was getting, but
ice.
It just feels like winter, just bad.
Ice, yes. And ice is horrible. It ices over things and you can't even get, you know what I mean? I've never been in an ice storm, but I've seen pictures. That's kind of what I'm seeing. And it's like things are encased in this ice. It's like the weirdest thing.
And roads, to stay off the roads. Once they say stay off the roads, stay off the roads. I just am seeing a bunch of car things. So yeah. This is not just
scary. No, just be prepared.
Be aware and just listen to what, because I feel like we'll have the information of like what to do, where to go. They'll tell you when to stay home. They'll tell you when to get out of the area. Just listen to them. That's all.
So, and being aware is empowering. Right. You're now empowered. It's knowledge is power. Being aware is power. So, okay. Well, I mean,
Yep.
I also feel, I don't know if this is connected to the ice storm or anything, but I think Maryland, the state of Maryland, needs to be aware of some things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So. That just popped in. So wherever that fits, I don't know. Okay. I feel like this is probably our last one, right? Okay. Eileen and Richard. When will
like the big thing that's supposed to be revealed come out?
So okay. I'm like,
down.
Are we talking the Bible, or I didn't know that 45 was in Revelations. Okay, there we go. Thank you for clarifying that for me. Okay.
Yeah, Lucy has her stick. A little cigar.
Yay. Yay, Lucy. Okay, when will Revelation? When will the? Okay, I see. Okay.
I'm seeing exactly what I saw before. It's like everybody goes before him. And so it's just this nerve-wracking, horrible waiting that he has to do as he sees people just get knocked down one by one and knowing they're coming for him. So I feel like it's not only coming, but it's going to, and for us too, it may be a little slow because I feel like they're working their way. They're working their way. And it's going to take a little time, or a little more time, I guess. But it feels like it's just agonizing for him because it's like, when are they coming? I know they're coming. When are they coming? And I feel like too, at this point, he doesn't have anybody at all on the inside that can tell him anything. So he's completely in the dark. That's what I got that before. And so I feel like that's what's coming. It won't
or they're telling him just enough.
Right. Yeah. Just enough to get you nervous.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
You know, thank you, Lucian. You know, oh gosh, here we go. Hold on, let me block someone. There we go. Oops, an error occurred. It keeps saying an error occurred. So if anybody else, I don't know if anybody else can block. Oops, don't want it on the screen.
What in the world?
I'm messing up, guys. It keeps saying an error has occurred. So there you have it. Let's see. Error. Wow. It let me put them in a timeout, but it wouldn't let me block that user. Isn't that interesting, you guys? It let me put them in timeout, so they'll be back, but it wouldn't let me block it. It kept saying error. Weird. Okay, these bots.
I can figure out what that
They're
is.
bots. Okay.
Okay, we'll turn them into.
Oh, but then I lost the question.
It
was about
just about 40, when they're going to get 45. Something's come with Roger Stone. I just saw him as well. I keep saying, I mean, for like a solid month, Debbie, I've seen this raid, FBI raid. So I think it's going to be a big deal. I don't know who it is. It feels like it could be like Don Jr., somebody like that. But I see an office and a home being raided. So I just saw that again. But I am getting something with Roger Stone coming up. So he's in trouble again. He's not keeping his nose clean, as they say.
You know, and no matter what else comes out, and if things start coming out and people start getting indicted and stuff, I feel like we're going to really start hearing more regarding him, the former guy. I'm hearing March. I know that feels like a long way off, but in the way this is all playing out, you know, even if things here and there, I feel like when things really start hitting the fan, it might be March.
And it's so weird. I feel like he thinks that running for president would shield him somehow, but it's not going to. It's not going to. They're coming. They're coming. It's just slow. It's just so slow. And part of it is this whole January 6th thing, because there's so many people that they are indicting and all of these charges, and it's just going to take time, but they'll get to him.
Thank you, Cindy. Blessings to you.
Hey, Cindy.
Thank you for supporting. Yeah, I understand that March seems that no, it's too far away, but it's playing out. There's things behind the scenes, and we may see some things, but the stuff that you guys are looking for, we may see more things before then, but the things that you guys are looking for are what we're looking for. The big. I feel like it's going to be closer.
Yeah. There'll be a lot of little nuggets along the way that we'll all enjoy. Mm-hmm. So,
and yeah,
they'll get to him.
Yep, they will. He's in that tunnel. There's nowhere for him to go. He's in that tunnel, guys. Like, he can't go one way or the other. He can only go straight down this tunnel. So he's stuck in this. There's nowhere for him to run and hide. But he's always, it's all about him. Unto thyself, right? But guess who's going to take him down? It's still this. The woman. Remember how it's always like, there's a woman taking him down or whatever. Yeah. You still have that woman energy coming in there with that knife. It's gonna talk.
I had, well, yeah, it could be women. It could be
women.
More than one, but I did think that Nancy Pelosi is one of those women.
Oh, okay, cool.
She's coming for him. So
they're all coming for him. They're all coming for him. Sarah, thank you so much. Blessings to you.
Thank you, Sarah. It's yeah. He has a lot of karma to reap. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Liz Cheney too. Exactly. There's a lot of people would love to take him down. So they'll have to get in line.
Get in line. Yeah. So
exactly.
Well,
I know. How is he? I know. How is he still alive? The stress, the food. He's just this like. I think what it's going to be like is Nightmare Before Christmas, the Oogie Boogie monster when he's on Zipperman, he's just a bunch of bugs. That's going to be Trump. That's what he is. He's a bunch of bugs.
Patricia, thank you. Blessings to you. It could be Ghislaine. I mean, she's coming out with something.
Yeah. Like I said, I think it's more than one. I really do. But I think it is women.
I think she has some stuff on him. But again, we're waiting for that thing that is like, oh, okay, we can't even cover this. You know what I mean? Like, this is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how fun, Kim. We should do. I love this. We should do this. We should do this the nights when you come on. We can.
Yeah, anytime. I just thought it would be. I hope it helped. I hope it helped people feel a little bit better and to connect and to know that they've gone topsy-turvy, but we haven't. We know what we're doing. We'll get there. Don't worry. Just need to stick together and do what we have been doing, right? We've been winning. Yeah. We've been winning the battles. They do these little stunts, and we just have to, slow and steady wins the race. So we're just gonna keep going slow and steady.
And if I didn't say thank you to Cindy, thank you so much for your support. And so thank you all. We just I feel better. I don't know about everybody else.
I do too. It's always feels good to just know you're not alone, and in your feelings and in your resolve. I think it's just good to know we're all in this together. So there.
Yeah. So thank you guys for reaching out to us and reaching out. Kim had said that some of you have reached out to her. I had people reach out to me, so it just worked out that this is what we should concentrate on tonight. And so I'm glad it worked out that way, and that linking our arms, guys, linking our arms,
linking
our voices. And yes, Bond, sending out that green chakra energy. Let's do it. Yeah, Susan.
Great.
I think we all were feeling a bit like that today. So
Yeah.
let's link our arms. If you ever start feeling like you're starting to slip into that that energy, just picture us all linking our arms together. Okay, this community. Thank you, Dale. Yeah, see.
Thank you, Dale.
And yeah, blessings to you. And until the next time, please take care of yourselves, and then you can take care of others around you.
Yeah.
Right. All right.
Yeah. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Yeah. Happy weekend.
Bye. Thanks, Debbie.
Thanks, Kim.
Thank you.